Okay, so let's start here from Ulahalam ben Masnisim.
Right.
Im ein das ein bina. There's no I get here. I think intellect means intellect as opposed to wisdom, which means the Kabbalistic sense. But let's see what he how he sort of turns it, explains it. Generally speaking, when we say in Ashkenaz Shmona Esrei, Chonein Meidcha Deah Bina V'Askel, so the terms are different, but it's the same thing as Chochma Bina V'Das, and what in Nusach Sfard. So Deah and Chochma are interchangeable, and Haskel is interchangeable with Das, right? So so here Mein Das Ein Bina Ein Das. I think it's going on the initial das, the das of Deah, as opposed to the das of Chochma Bina Das. So let's see. So it says, Imein das ein bina ein das. There's no das, no bina, there's no bina, no das. V'shem das, mechunim elu advarim shehem muskalos rishonim. So das are the things which are basic assumptions, right, or axioms. Between B'seichel Adam and Tziraso, which are embedded in a person immediately with his creation. So not only is it not a chachma, but it's no, it's not. I should say it's not acquired. Basic explain it's not even acquired knowledge. It's knowledge which is intrinsic. What?
Instinctive.
Instinctive, right? K'mar ain't davar oseh as atzmo. The principle certainly cannot make itself. Shafil tinokas terem havinam od shum davar. Even children, even before they understand anything, shoni kvar. That's miasazos, mievizos. Okay, so that is the interesting instinctive understanding that anything which exists has to be made by somebody or some entity. It's also instinctual. An ox knows its owner, a donkey knows the feedback of its master. Emuna muskarisha mashiyeda gam ba'al chai. So he says emuna is instinctive, and even animals can know that. I think he's learning that Yodash Shor Koneu means that it knows HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I never understood it that way. Yodash Shor Koneu Chamor Amus Ba'alav. I always understood it to mean that he knows his owner, but he says it Mashiach Gam Ba'al Chai. Let's see, Kasabari B'Shari Rabbeinu Yoina B'Shari Chu B'Shari Osyud Yinei Borin Afach Ba'Pin Nishmas Chayim. Okay, well this is a human being. Hashem breathed into my nostrils breath, soul of life. Chochmas Leib, which has a wise heart, with Toba Seichel, and has a good intellect. Lakiro, to recognize it. Naresha, of course, Apori Yisbrach Nutur B'Seichel. So the cognition of Hashem is embedded in the intellect. Don din ani be'evyon, to judge the judgment of a poor and impoverished person. Shumei advarim she'aseichel mechayvon. Which is again instinctive. Hello, he hadas osi. That's the end of the pasuk. That's to know me. So das is the things which are implanted in the intellect. He says, interesting, because this is going on instinctive knowledge, so it's granted to us as a gift, right? This is a matana to a person. I assume with a Baruch Hu's, right? Because I talk on das. Bina l'sham lamed. But Bina, it says Hashem teaches us. But it's not instinctive. It comes from outside a person. I was subsided him together yira v'chachma. sheinam be'emes echad. Because we're saying that Yira is Chochma. The Elasheg Sheira Mechutz Adam Nikreis Chochma. Uchnisas Leivarim Nikreis Yira. So when you say, "Hey, Yiras Hashem, He Chochma," I don't see exactly how this connects, but I guess he's saying that when it's he's distinguishing between Chochma, which is knowledge, which is acquired, and das, which he said is knowledge, which is intuitive. So he says that the Yira, which is outside a person, is still called Chochma. It has to be, because when it enters into a person, it's called Yira, because that thing, very profound statement. The truth is that he's saying any Chochma should lead to Yira. In other words, when you internalize Chochma and you understand it, it should lead you to additional Yiras Hashem. V'keinu gidram shel das ubina, and it's it's analogous or parallel to the Deya and Bina. So Deya is instinctive, and Bina is what you take in. But so it's not exactly the same thing, because Deya starts inside, whereas the year starts outside. So I'm not sure why he's saying that they're parallel. If anything, he's saying Deya is inside, Bina is outside. It means to take it in, and here Yira is outside, and Chochma is outside, and then Yira is to take it in. Seems that's coming from the other direction. So let's see what he says. Margla befume de la Chavetz Chaim zal. But time used to say, "V'chidoshim yadam gedolos in the tzuros." No, so I don't know what he's doing here. Do we ask a person great things and things which are very, very difficult to attain? Hello, the mevakshim imenu rak shelo yesachol. Ask a person just not to be a fool. So I don't know why he's saying Yira b'chutz nikreis Chochma.
I think he's saying that Chochma is like das in that it's instinct, it's internal, it's intrinsic, and then Bina is like Yira, which can be acquired and taken within.
Okay, so he's saying so he's going with the assumption then that Yiras Hashem is Yiras Hashem is not intuitive, but if a person exercises Bina on his intuition, he can come to Yira. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess that's what he's saying. Okay. So he says that a person, and that's Chavetz Chaim saying that, if you just look at the intuitive knowledge you possess, like we said above, that everything has to be made by something, right? So therefore, that's already the philosophical analysis of first cause. So then you'll have year automatically. Remain das and being kochos and tuim elu hadas hemayisod shemem tzomachas biyotzei sabina. The foundation for which bina emerges. Even a person who gets tremendous knowledge, his primary chochma comes from his basic axioms. Because all chochma is only branches which come out of their das. In Cain, shechosa yisod abinin shu das. So if you're lacking that das, so lo yipo kol binyan chochmasa. In other words, all chochma has to be integrated. He's saying with your basic knowledge and your capacity to perceive things intellectually. So all other knowledge is like grafted on that basic capacity which you have. This is foundation. It's nice, Moshe. Everything is this foundation. Everything is dependent on that. Kol time Yerucham she'ein bo der, and time Yerucham doesn't have there, says Nevela tov ve'imenu. Nevela is better than him. Moshe Chazal kol ma'aso madrigos shel Moshe Rabbeinu. mentions all the levels and Moshe. Dam Elsam Das, even by Moshe Rabbeinu. Remove Das, Yivato Kobi Yehu, and the whole structure falls apart. Call a Moshe Rabbeinu. Simu Chazal, and conclude Das, Kanisa, Machasarta. Require Das, what are you missing? That they are Das, I'm sorry, they are Kanisa, Machasarta, they are Lokanisa, Machasarta, you require they, you have nothing. So, I mean, the way he said it before, you really can't be Conan. It has to be that you have it. So if you have the Daya, then you have, you can learn anything. You don't have Daya, what are you going to acquire? Gedura Simon Gedura Simon Gamkein. I'm not sure what Gedura Simon Gamkein is. No. Gedura, when they define the Chochmo Shlomo, Simu Gamkein, they also concluded. Matlo Amar, the Moshe says, Dea Chasarta Makanisa, Dea Kanisa Machasarta. Ukvisha Bianu. Let me explain. Shtei Dargos Elu Sheyura V'das, a Kochas Tivim Atzmiyim Shalodam. Okay, so it's Yura and Das are basic, axiomatic. V'zeu Limud Ladas, Erka V'chashivasah Shashmiras Koch Atzmi. So it's really like he said way back in the beginning with Teva, right? There's a mitzvah the mitzvah to keep Teva. So he's saying that any person, there is this internal intuitive, they are an internal intuitive yira. Sometimes it has to be extracted, has to be extrapolated. But you're looking really inside yourself. Mao kulo, shon Chochmo me avera. And what's if you don't preserve your own daya and yira, which are internal, the punishment is worth it doing an avera. But then what you get for an actual avera. Vakebi Ramban tam mashlonech tam gzardinam ala geza. The Doramabel is only concluded the judgment based on gezel mishum shagezel mitzvah shasecha mechayva. Gezel is one of these axioms. Mitzvah shasecha mechayva and harei hakochas sim mishal adam. They're the basic nature of a person. And violating them is more chum. Zen echtam be'emes gizar dinam. That's what the decree came on that. V'chein motzina b'kosu ki yishchis kol basar. It's darko. Nice deal. Darko so kochos ativim shodam, the natural forces of a person. Kogon zen gzar din nechta. Okay, gzar dino shal molek. Now machotim cheh. In other words, he denied the basic hero, which certainly should come from seeing Kriyas Yamsuf and Matan Torah and all those things. Well, he was after before Matan Torah, but seeing the Makos and Kriyas Yamsuf. Well, hero could close at the root blind bottom. Hero is embedded. And its definition is a person is under parameters. There is a power which delineates him and restrains him. All the nations at the time hated the Jews. They were terrified. They were restrained. They also want to go out to war. They didn't have the courage to do so. There's no hope. He wouldn't bound himself even by that which is intuitive and axiomatic. Natural boundaries he uprooted. He cooled off the Am Yisrael in front of the nations of the world. Mashal Ambati is like a bathtub. Shloisa Biria Yichola Leiri B'tocha. No person go into it because it was so hot. Above Bempli Alachar, and one bad person came. Kapat Sisokam jumped into it. Afal Pisha Nichva, even though he got burnt, Avali Kiro Lifnei Acherim. He cooled off in front of other people. She'el mufkar legamre. The bli she'el get her af mashu. It's like even if it's suicidal. Yishchis goes against all natural instinct and all basic axioms. Yishchis kochosav amud boimbo. He'll destroy the power, the basic strengths, powers which are embedded in him. Shumzeh goes lavatorah machotimcha. So the lo yirei Elokim is what really caused him to be destroyed, because, and that's why the mashal is so critical here, because he jumped into a hot bathtub, right? Somebody who has no boundaries, even not logical boundaries, intuitive boundaries, it can't be tolerated in this world, because they're not going to live by the rules. No raw. This comes a very awesome, terrible illumination. The severity of this, the sin of destroying one's embedded powers. On the contrary, preserving one's kochos. Everything is based on the powers which are embedded in man. Instalik every soda, that foundation is gone. The main derech eretz, which is again logical constructs. Bechrech ein Torah. Hamivchon shebo yibchano adam, yibacheno adam. The test which a person tests umatzav kochos hamud boimbo is to say the kochos which are embedded in him. Okay, that's heavy.
Yes, it is heavy. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. We have to show next week.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.